So then, you guys are in that small chamber with the rubble, and this Dao, which she hasn't actually said her name, is collecting these piles of rocks. There's still sand pretty much everywhere across the floor. And
I do have an important logistics question.
logistic question. Okay.
How the fuck did she fit in this room? This is bigger than all the doors.
Yep. You're gonna have to wonder on that one.
Aren't we just allowed to squeeze through small ones, but it takes like loads of movement off?
As you guys are wondering, she finishes making this pile in the corner of the room. It says, "Are you going to follow me then towards the portal?"
Towards the portal, why?
Then I shall take you to the stairs. And to the north is a long corridor, and it is very narrow. However, as she steps towards it, you can see around her legs, dust begins to billow up. Especially more considering how much is already on the ground. And as it does, it takes up her entire bottom half. And then her torso. And then she becomes a literal wave of sand. As she just goes down the corridor ahead of you guys.
I could do that, I just choose not to. And like, is there any sand left on the floor, or is it like all wrong with it?
There's still the sand from the elementals.
Okay, yeah, but like, she's not left any.
Of herself? No.
Okay,
From
I'll
what-
follow her up the corridor then.
Okay. As you literally can hear and see this wave of sand passing down the corridor. You see it turns to the right.
I shall turn to the right.
And as you guys follow her,
And summon the wolf because there's no way you can fit through the corridors.
he can't. He probably could like really squeeze up, but it's probably quicker.
I'm gonna send him back home to rest.
He's done his watching. But yes, as you guys follow, you come back to a very similar set of staircases. It's smaller and more narrow, and you can tell just from looking at it, it spirals, but it seems to also narrow as it goes down into the floor, and then disappears below.
So it's like it's like a cone spiral stair.
It's just, yes. And as you reach into this room, she reforms out of the sand. In reverse, her torso comes out first, and then her legs. Actually, she keeps her bottom half as sand, which is very odd to look at. It's like torso and then sand. As this billowing, almost like a twister of sandstorm, just below her, just swirling constantly. This way.
I'm sorry. It's been a whole week without...
Yeah, and she, without hesitation, begins heading down the stairs. With you guys in tow. As you begin traveling down, this one does travel much further than the previous one. However, again, you guys stop only several floors below the previous one, and as you come out, the heat has dispersed at this point. However, there's definitely still that sense of sweltering heat around, just not as much as the one as the floor above you guys.
Okay.
And looking around, this one actually has light. Not a lot of light, but it has faint crystals in parts of the ceiling, which are giving off very faint light down the corridors. And it's not strong light. And it's not even constant. It's intermittent, almost like they've either been turned off in certain areas.
It's a rave, Aaron.
No.
I think he means like not intermittent as in flashing, but intermittent as in like some of the bulbs are out.
Yes, and placement is intermittent. There's no constant down the corridor. It's like one, and then just darkness for a whole 20 feet, and then light.
Wait, why is Really Written puts on latex suit?
I don't know.
What was that in reference? Oh.
I don't think you do that at raves.
Oh, we might have went to a different rave.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's a rave with a P instead of a V.
10 minutes.
Wow.
They figured it out.
Wow. Anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah. As you come onto...
accidentally find a gimp instead of a pimp.
As you guys come out of this corridor and spread out in this central chamber, you can all hear that very faint humming sound again. And some of you can recognize this as the same sound coming from the previous rift, but it's more clearer. It has almost a ring to it instead. It's just a... which seems to just echo down this corridor.
So it's not ear bleeding like the last one. Cool.
Yeah.
So this portal basically leads to a living room where someone's doing the vacuuming.
Well, it's an earth.
Is it like
everywhere?
Is it the set for the music video of "I Want to Break Free"?
I want to break free.
I cannot use a vacuum cleaner without that song in my head.
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, really? Don't applaud the prick.
Well, not even, no. As you guys slowly approach,
Why is that so fun?
you don't hear any additional noises. There's no crunching, there's no stepping, shuffling of stone, there's no gravelly grunts or anything. You can't hear any other sound apart from this. And the female Dal is kind of just looking around, always confused. I expected more life.
Well, perhaps they all went down with the Illithids.
Possible. It is ahead.
I thought it was a portal.
And she begins just going down the corridor, ignoring your comment, as well as the DM. After just a short distance, it actually opens up immediately into the chamber, very similar to the one you previously came from. And it splits off in several different directions, and you can tell this is very obviously used, or would have been used as a storeroom, as she has a curved ceiling which reaches the apex at a point, and in the center is very clearly a ripple in the air, and the very fabric of whatever the material plane is made of. But it doesn't look normal, as you can see coming from each of the corners in this almost the circular shape that it was meant to be. You can see almost like hooks are pulling across in certain points,
Keeping it open.
and you can see that it leads almost like string to various points of the room, where you can see several glowing gems of orange.
Of
Remin-
orange. Oh, yeah, orange.
Yeah.
Wait, was orange the earth color?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, orange was
Yeah.
earth and yellow was, wasn't
Was Fae. Or Celestial, whatever we can discern.
it? No, it was in the, because the,
Yeah, it was fake.
what, as in, like, I thought the Feywild was green.
Green was the wind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird that the green is wind and not Feywild, but okay.
I didn't make them up, but
Okay.
the planes chose themselves. But yeah, looking around, there's very clearly 6 of these gems placed across the room, which are almost very much like hooks, pulling at this portal in various directions.
Reminiscent of the demon who came through with a claw in it, keeping it open behind him, right? When we closed the one. Okay. So time to go play Smashy.
And across it, not actually keeping it open, you see not really holding it, but placed across it in various angles are that cold steel. Kind of just like hanging from the ceiling in various directions across the portal. Not really keeping it closed, but anything that would come through it would get trapped pretty much immediately.
Okay.
So basically, they made us trapped. Cool.
The Magistrate is like attached to the walls, yeah?
Yes, in various portions. And it's
How
not
is it
really
attached?
built in, it kind of just has sockets that have been built to house these gems.
I'm gonna get out my crowbar.
I'm gonna take out my chisel.
I'm just gonna use a battle axe.
I want to.
Sarah, at this point you realised smashing's not a good idea with gems of these type, but you can use it to pry, I guess, yes.
I would like to try and pry a gem
Yeah.
out of the socket.
Okay, yeah. They're all in various
I know
points.
I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree, but I'm not that dumb. I want to do that again.
Yeah, without much of a hassle, you guys can actually quite quickly just... and each one you pop, you can see that it kind of shakes on that side of the portal and then pulls itself back into a normal, smooth circle.
What happens to the stones? Do they just come loose?
They do come loose and then begin to dull.
Okay.
Aww.
They still keep that orange colour, but they're
Okay.
dull.
So they may be like unenchanted.
Die.
So it's something like-
And looking at
Yeah,
them,
that-
there is a mark on them, which is in not Draconic, in Dwarven, which you guys can all read.
And most of us.
And it has the Dwarven word for rend.
Ooh. Salant as a prior enchanter, could you figure out what that would be for what type? Like, was it to be rend open a hole like a portal? Or
It has various meanings, but in this certain, you can definitely tell it's to rend or
Meant to
rip
for the whole-
or tear.
not to hurt anyone going through the portal.
Now,
Probably.
It's possible, but it doesn't seem to be that way.
so if we're popping out crystals, we don't want this to go unstable with the metal in front of it, because she won't be able to get through. Will she? Or can she deal with the metal while we take out the crystals?
She is large, but from what you've seen her turn to sand, she can pass around it.
I would imagine also that Sanagir is taking care of the chains.
Again, he would have to have them heated, which Seraphina can help with.
Well, can he not just like, because
You can
he
lift
just
it.
like move it out of the way? Yeah.
Oh, you can move it out of the way,
He
yeah.
doesn't have to break it. He just needs to like,
Yeah, we can leave it hanging. I'm
Clear
sure
a
it's a
path.
lovely decoration.
yeah.
Yeah, you can move it to the side. And it rattles, which echoes across this entire room and down the corridors.
Oh, small thing. Salant would at least said to Ulan to pick up the chains from when we freed her.
They're still technically around her wrist. You didn't actually take off
Oh,
the wristlets.
Yeah, we just detached it from the ground. Not.
Ah, that's sad. Anyway. I want some cold iron.
There's some hanging from the ceiling. Or you can hit the wall.
Another time.
Plenty of opportunities to find some.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an entire building made of cold iron.
I
I'm
think
sure
we'll
they
find
will.
some more.
I'm sure we can come back later and get some spoils.
Yeah.
But as you guys are doing this, she's kind of just looking around. And then looking at the portal. with kind of a faint smile across her face, like she hasn't seen it in years.
How long were you a prisoner?
I have no account of how long, but several years.
The Illithids were here for several years. Oh,
And the
Jesus.
emergence only left 2 years ago.
No, the emergence left longer than that, didn't they?
They started leaving about a year and a half. They only really broke out a year.
Oh, okay, I thought it was longer than that. But it seems like the emergence left before the Illithid showed up.
Or at least before they made themselves known to everybody, I guess.
Yeah, so like before she was chained up
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
And as Seneca pulls apart the chains, she takes a deep breath and starts walking towards it. And she's kind of working with more of a purpose. Or sorry, she's not even walking. She's gliding towards it in her sand hoverer form. And as she moves towards it,
Back up to the door.
she kind of looks back towards you guys, nods. You have my thanks.
Remember the name Broken Compass? That's us. That's not just like a random thing, that's us.
Very confident.
I will remember this, Broken Compass. And remember the name Princess Everlosa will keep you in her mind. As she again begins to dissolve into sand and shifts and flows directly into the portal. And as it passes through, it's almost like she doesn't hit anything, it's just and then just the rattling of the chains.
It seems Broken Compass knows a lot of princesses.
Well, shit, guys, the princess is now in another castle.
Jesus Christ.
That was pretty good. And moments pass. And then you see flicker on the edges of the portal.
Like, everybody back out of the room.
Everyone, scatter!
Where to?
Well, we'll just stay outside the door and watch to see if the portal closes.
I will stay at the back.
I will still be behind him just to make sure I'm in the back.
You two fight to try and get the back. Alright. And as you, the ones at the front can see, it begins to flicker. As I know, how far away are you staying?
Well, I mean, we're like outside the room for starters.
Okay, the
But
room's
it's
about
really-
40 feet from the door, so...
Someone's just gonna stay in the doorway with his shield out high, cowering behind it, and basically have one eye so you can look it out.
You're gonna stand in the doorway? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
The other one's just gonna Scooby-Doo around the door thing.
And as it begins to flicker, it becomes more and more unstable. Ooh. And you see it begins to fluctuate with
I would like to prepare an action.
the... Prepare an action?
Yeah, if it explodes, I'm gonna just grab Savan and pull him into cover.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do the dodge action.
It's a narrow corridor which leads back into the stairwell, so...
Oh, is it like a long corridor that led straight to it? I thought it was like off the side of a corridor.
it's kind of off to it, but yeah, it's still just a long hallway attached to it, which goes to the stairwell.
Okay. Okay, I would just casually pull Savant backwards down the corridor, away from the impending swing.
Someone's gonna try to cover for both of them.
And as it claps shut, it's almost like overlapping explosions at once. Just like,
I pick them up and begin to run.
and you just see a very thin slit of what looks like energy, very similar to the ley line of just kind of just sparking an energy in a thin line, and then
No, Savant, don't look at the explosion. And then just run.
you begin to run, and you see behind you, you feel it first, the kind of pulling of air as it seems to be sucking into the direction of the portal, and outwards you feel just a faint kind of, not so much a breeze, but kind of just a pulse that passes through, and then you hear the sound of cracking rock coming from behind you,
Yeah, no, that's my door, so I'll be right back.
and metal beginning to bend behind you all as something's happening. As that is happening, yes. You hear the shockwave exploding out from the room and seems to be
It sounds
traveling.
much like Jace's door.
It sounds very similar to a ring of a doorbell. Of just a ding.
The air is just pulsating in this way.
It is
It's one of those door buzzer things. It's like an entry.
as
Oh, gotcha.
the doorbell just keeps on the doorbell. Damn it. Damn it. Anyway, as the air begins to kind of almost pulsate with this energy, and the room behind, if there's anything left, it probably is not in the same shape it was previously. And as you all begin running towards the stairwell, you can hear the cracking of metal and stone behind you along the corridor.
Oh shit, what happened?
And as you guys enter back out into the stairwell, you hear the faint as a very faint pulse enters out into the stairwell from the exit of the corridor. And just having a brief look, you could already see there is no rectangular shape to the corridor anymore. It's buckled and bent into more of a oval shape, and whatever semblance of a room was there probably is no longer of the same shape.
Okay.
So yeah, we just badassly got thrown out of a pulse bomb. Cool.
And
Did
that ringing sound has stopped.
Did Ulan jump and let the shockwave carry him forward like a badass?
When you guys exit out of the stairwell, yes. At the stairwell, out of the corridor, yeah, because you wouldn't have made it all the way.
Okay.
In that last couple of feet, it kind of just carried you through.
Cool.
Especially the shorter people. Sorry.
Can we both roll acrobatics to roll and then stand up coolly?
Yes, sure. All of you can roll acrobatics.
Can I try and flash slide?
Depending on your acrobatics roll, yes.
Where the hell is my keyboard gone? Oh shit, where is my keyboard gone?
You lost your keyboard?
Yeah, because I'm on the sofa here.
Oh.
So I've got a wireless keyboard to do stuff.
It's under the pillow.
I wasn't, it was under the pizza box.
Okay then.
Did you say acrobatics?
Yeah. And anyone else who was standing by the doorway should probably as well.
I was about to be like disappointed by that 11, but it's still higher.
It's still a +9. But yeah, you two who are at the front, or actually at the back technically. Yeah, even Seren as well. The three of you who are running at the back away from this pulse, as you come out of the out into this stairwell, you just and you actually get some lift in the air for like a solid like 5-10 feet as like, and then you go into like a 3-point landing or a skid as each of you manage to get out, and you look behind you. You're lucky you didn't make you went in the room while that happened.
Devant hold
Okay.
up his hand for a high five.
I stoop down and give him a low five.
And you will notice there's a thin, almost dust in its trail.
Can someone make an Arcana check on this? Like, I don't want to get space cancers out or something.
We're not allowed to get space cancer from magic dust.
You can definitely tell it's a very similar
Arcane herpes.
to that same sounds coming from the elementals. It's just very fine, almost like powder.
Oh, it's the icing sugar stuff again. Okay.
And there is now silence once again. There's a faint ringing, both in your ears and down the corridors, but that humming sound from the portal is now stopped.
I don't know what you're talking about. Devant is always deaf.
Well then, that's one portal down, one to go,
All right.
and yeah, to the stairs.
Which you guys currently are at.
Down the stairs then.
And
Window.
To the floor.
Through.
Oh, wait.
very clearly, you can hear shuffling once again below you guys.
Every day.
Every day they are shuffling.
Damn it, Riddy.
It's not directly below, but you can hear there's definitely some movement happening somewhere down the stairwell.
Like the same sound of the golems walking around.
It definitely sounds like the golem steps.
Is it rushed in any way or anything?
Golems haven't really been known to rush, but give me a perception check. A perception check. Wow, that's that. Yeah, sure.
I'm not gonna even bother.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean,
Sarah,
Someone is alert.
you kind of. Sure. I'm not sure why that was at advantage, but I think the 20 was first anyway.
The 20 was first anyway.
Set himself to advantage. I don't know why he did.
Oh, fair enough. It's still a 20 though. Both of you can tell, because somehow you rolled exactly the same, that it's several floors below you guys, and this staircase goes down about 10 floors. Somewhere near the bottom, probably on the last or second to last floor, there's at least 3 golems.
is there a pillar down the middle of the spiral staircase, or is there a hole?
This is the same type of hole.
Got a hole.
There seems to be reinforcement on this one though, but there's still a gap down the center.
Why are my sanity rolls so disappointingly high? I walk down the stairs like a sensible person.
Alright. Where are you guys heading?
To the bottom.
Down.
Yeah, down.
Down. Alright.
I mean, we know the other portal is much further down, so.
Down. Well, we know the Elithids went down, so we just go down.
Okay. Because I heard something about going outside and jumping down, or using...
Yeah, but we aren't sure if it's like a bottomless pit or not. So
Yeah,
that seems unwise.
but yes.
For the safety.
Well, you know at least that you can't see down there, but yes. As you guys head down the stairs, are you doing this quietly, or are you just going to stroll down? Like you own the place?
Meh.
I mean,
I think we made enough noise that people...
Yeah. We set off a bomb.
yeah,
Come on,
I mean,
man.
I'm not at this point.
You don't care at this point.
willing to
Okay.
fight whatever we
We,
come
I'm
across.
not stealthing,
Yeah.
but I'm keeping an eye out for people that might be stealthing up on us.
Yes.
Hmm.
We are going to saunter observantly.
Yeah. You know immediately that Turok has immediately gone stealthy and has kept his distance behind you guys. It's like, and shifted into the shadows.
Well, he's a ranger after all.
I can see you.
No, you can't.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You say that and you're like, wait.
Thank
What?
God.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk down the stairs. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you head down, it does spiral down all the way. And again, each floor you look across, you see some light. But again, there's like one every corridor and then maybe two on another one. And the stairway doesn't have any light. It seems to just be some glow coming from the corridors. But it's either they're gone out or they're missing.
Yeah.
But you carry
It's like-
on going down, and
They've not bothered with maintenance.
it's very similar to the same thing. As you go down, when you get to the 6th and the 7th floor, you notice in the stairways near the corridors, there's those crates again.
Right?
Loot crates. But there's different sizes, and there's even some chests as well of various
Are they-
sizes.
Are they the decomposed ones or the like newish ones?
It's actually both.
Okay.
Some look like they've
Well,
been
since I've
at
already
least
got my crowbar out.
they've been damaged. They don't look old like the ones you saw previously, which were completely
Okay.
decomposed, but they definitely seem old. Like they haven't been moved recently. But there's also some metal chests. There looks like some type of lockbox as well. There's very things that just been left on these stairways.
Weird.
I want to start rummaging through boxes then. I'll crowbar off some lids.
Okay, you kind of just like stop on one of them, like, and yeah, you see roughly around 6 crates, 2 chests, 1 on each floor, and about 1 lockbox on the 7th floor.
Well, I want to go to the chests and the lockbox eventually as well, but I'll start with the crate.
Okay, which floor?
Like the first one that we came across.
6th. Okay. Yeah. You just take your crowbar and without much effort, you put it under, and you can hear the snapping of this woody texture. And as you crack it open, you can peer inside, and you can see those tablets again, or at least what looks like tablets. But these ones have been marked, and you can see grooves made into them.
Just marked with grooves or marked with right?
It looks like grooves, very similar to the head that you have.
Well, now we know where they got the stone from, because it's from the elementals. And
Aye.
if they're trying to construct some kind of focus, I guess maybe these are like tile components for it somehow. So, I mean, obviously they didn't need as many as they have, else these wouldn't still be here. But
That's
yeah.
true.
I'm gonna leave the others to have a shifty at that, and I want to go to a chest.
Okay. Same
And
floor.
I'm gonna pull out a lightstone and go up to one of the chests, and I'm gonna
Yeah. You look over at the chest,
using the lightstone.
and using the lightstone, you can see very clearly this is it's a metallic chest, and it's not of dark iron like the rest of this citadel has been recently, which with the lightstone looking around, it leaves this room being very bleak, of just this dark kind of greyish metal. The only light of colour is yourselves and these boxes, which is odd. There's no tapestries on the walls either at this point. But you do notice this chest in particular. It's only about probably around 3 foot wide, but it's made of some type of metal. It actually looks like, with the actual stone in your hand, it looks more like normal iron, like steel. But it has across it what looks like some type of red, either colouring to it or some type of red red texture across it.
What,
in,
like
in several bands.
like the wood is red, or is it like got stripes on?
It's got some type of stripes across the metal.
I would like to investigate.
Give me an investigation. As you look over this chest. And it is a normal roll because you actually have light. And 19, yeah. Looking
That was
at
higher than I expected.
looking actually over this chest, it's very clear that these red lines are not just for decoration. And you actually notice they go across as stripes in a horizontal pattern. Actually, sorry, no, vertical pattern, sorry, across this chest. But they converge around the lock in the center.
Can I do an Arcana check? Because I suspect this is some kind of magical trap.
Looking at it, and Seraphina can assist you on this. So yeah, just do a roll at advantage.
With advantage.
Yes.
Alright. Thank you for the advantage, because I have plus nothing.
Go on, smart. Come on, smart guy.
Wow.
What?
Wow. Looking at this,
You're rolling fours.
Seraphina can at least tell you there's definitely something magical about it. You're not sure if it's a trap or not, but there's definitely something weird about this red stuff that's connected to the lock.
I'm gonna get a knife out, and I'm gonna try and like scratch through the red stuff.
Okay, which type of knife?
I would just pull out the drow +1 dagger,
Okay, yeah.
because that's like my go-to knife.
Alright, as you begin working on one of the red lines, almost immediately it sets alight and the blade starts to flames start to lick across the blade. But nothing happens to the blade. And
Right, because it's a magic blade. Okay. Possibly. So this is a fire thing you do.
Use the cold iron, which is magic resistant.
Yeah, I'll get out one of the cold iron.
Okay, you pull out this black, almost machete-like knife,
Good thought, Dee.
and you work on that as well. And same thing happens, but the blade itself seems to almost ignore it completely as it begins scraping away at this red. And you do this for all 6 of these lines.
Yeah, just breaking the lines, basically.
Yeah, and again, it begins to burn the parts that you begin to scrape, and then as you pull the blade away, you can see that there's definitely some heat that's been built up on the edge, but nothing's been done to it.
Okay. Next, without touching it, I'm going to do the magnet thing on the lock.
Without touching it.
Well, yeah, because I don't need to touch it, because I'm manipulating it with magnets.
Yeah, it just helps that you're
So
touching
I'm
it.
just- well, I'm being careful not to, like, touch the red stuff.
Alright.
But
Give me a check. $16. Yeah, this lock itself doesn't seem to be too complex. It seems to just be whatever this red stuff seems to be what's keeping people away from it.
okay, and then I'm going to call Seraphina over.
Hold on, I haven't finished yet.
I'm sorry.
However, when you finish clicking it and the lid rises just a little bit to show that it's unlocked,
Well, damn, what I was going to say was relevant then.
a flicker
It's
of
like,
fire
before-
comes out.
Well, before I unlocked it, but like before it unlocked, I was going to call Seraphina over so that she could be ready with Control Flame, which I also have, and will be ready with. So
I don't think Seraphina has control flame.
she does, because she said that earlier.
Oh, never mind. But as it hasn't done anything, it just
It just whooshed. Okay. And like dissipated, or just
there's kind of a flicker of flame around the edge, but it hasn't exploded.
Okay. I'm gonna stand back and like off to the side and flip the lid open with my staff.
With your staff, okay.
While also being ready with control flame if need be.
And yeah, you flip it open with staff, kind of using it as a leverage, and there is an extra burst of flame that comes from the edge of the lid, almost actually the top of the lid, as just a which lights up the area pretty well, but then immediately diminishes almost immediately.
Okay, I cautiously go over and look inside.
You still have the lightstone?
Yes.
Yeah. With the lightstone, you can kind of peer in, and there's a smell coming from this chest,
Oh, great.
which is... It's not pleasant in any means. And kind of just peering in from a distance, you can see red. And there's various... look like small ball-shaped objects just covered in this red.
Magical cores, I bet.
Possibly.
The ones they've been harvesting.
Serafina, what do you make of this?
She kind of looks for a second and then just like covers her nose and steps away. Looks similar. I don't know the Serafina voice. I'm just going to do a generic voice.
Generic voice. Activate.
Okay.
You can do a check.
Yeah, I guess. Arcana?
No, just investigation.
Nature? Oh, just investigation, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same as Arcana, because it's plus nothing.
Yeah, 3. From this point of view, without taking them out, the like oval egg-like shapes covered in blood.
Well, balls to that then. And I just leave.
Someone's gonna make a check before everyone leaves.
Okay, you kind of peer in as well, and yeah, you've dealt enough with this kind of blood smell from the corpses you found from giants, like. Yeah.
It's still scarf over his face, like to quell it a bit, but he's gonna investigate it.
Alright. Do you actually pull one out, or are you just looking inside the chest?
Yeah, he's gonna pull one out.
Okay. Wow!
Oh my god!
It's now 1 and 3. Oh, getting worse.
I can't roll with advantage apparently. I just can't.
Apparently. As you kind of pull one out, it kind of slips out of your hand and just kind of like plops on the floor. And it's just like, lovely.
Right then.
But at this point, you can tell just by covering some of it away, it's definitely some type of organic thing. And yeah, I'll do a check for Serafina. I might as well, because this is something she would do. Let me open her character sheet.
Right, if we're doing things that Serafina would normally do, we all need to take damage then?
And fireball.
Don't you just
Hi,
hate those
Mimsa, we miss
accidental?
you.
That should be impossible. Don't you hate when your wizard accidentally shoots you in the face? In a fireball?
Accidentally.
Actually, I don't know because it's never happened to me. I think I'm the only person that Serafina has never damaged.
Yeah.
And I am the most.
You've just damaged her.
Oh yes, there's...
She was a 16 though, and yeah, she can clearly tell this is a magic core, and if this chest is full of them, that's rather dangerous just in respects of what magic cores are.
So you're gonna pocket them all?
and they're pretty old at this point, just from the smell.
Shall we like set 'em on fire?
No.
Why not?
They're like magicite,
Right.
which means they can detonate
But they're squishy body parts.
of magic.
Can we weaponize them somehow?
Like grenades?
Mm.
I don't really want to shove them in the bag of holding.
Uh,
Have we
Was-
got enough room? Have we got enough room to get the portable hole out in this space?
You would have to move some boxes, but yeah.
We'll put the crate in the portable hole.
Hmm.
That seems sensible because I don't think the crate will fit in.
You mean the chest, not the crate.
The chest, sorry, yeah. I don't think the chest will fit through the bag of holding hole.
no, probably not.
Better put it in another dimension.
Right. And like that portable hole is basically dangerous thing storage. Is what we've always used it for in the past. So.
Explosives, acids,
True.
and now magic force in there. Ah, that's fine. Nothing would ever go wrong.
Alright. Yeah, it would easily fit in the portable hole.
Right.
Okay.
And then we'll go.
I imagine you close it again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm gonna hope you probably scrape off more of the red stuff so it doesn't set fire to the rest of the things in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you spend some time scraping off the rest of that from the top at least, and
In the
around.
meantime, someone's gonna ask Serafina, what would happen if I put a quill through one of them? The magic course.
I've never done that, so I don't know.
Well,
But a quill through it is in like a feather. You want to stab it with a pen?
well, more
And is
of,
mightier than the sword.
well, it's more of if anything goes and points at it, would they explode, or what would happen?
I wouldn't want to try out, but
You know, like put it on an arrow and you have exploding arrow.
We'll figure that out later.
Tavrok's just kind of sitting on the stairs like, aren't you guys getting
Right now.
distracted?
Let's. Yeah. Let's just get this box safe and stored, and then we've got to go down.
Let's hurry.
Although, if you want something to be thinking about, Savan, some way to rig up a rudimentary, like handheld catapult or something, like a big giant spoon we can fling him with, might be useful.
Goes in the pockets, take out what he used to make the stew. Like a normal spoon? Like what do you want
Or
to do?
like a big flicky, like on a catapult, right? Like the movie bit on a catapult to like throw the cores at people.
I'm going ahead. And Tavrok slinks down the stairs.
Do we have a helmet or anything I could use?
Nope. Well, I mean, we can keep an eye out. I'm sure there'll be some Durga armor around somewhere.
It was the bag of armor, but
Well, yeah, that's his
that
armor,
was
but
left
he's
up
gone.
top.
Yeah, let's move fast.
Alright,
By
so you,
fast I mean nearly 30.
as you go down just the first set of stairs, you notice that Tavrok's actually picked up the lockbox and put it onto his back. Kind of shook it a little bit, and then
Wow.
Yeah, because that could not be dangerous, could it?
and then kind of looks at you. It's like, and then just shrugs.
How much does the lockbox weigh?
It's not actually that big. It's much smaller than the chest. It's probably only. It's about the same size as about a keyboard, a little smaller.
Does it weigh less than 5 pounds?
You don't know.
Take up the stairs.
Do you attempt to?
Can I attempt to steal it with my magnet powers?
It's attached to his back. You can try and pull it off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just try and like Like as he's walking, I'm just gonna try and like wriggle it free.
Give me a double sleight of hand. One for actually just one sleight of hand actually. $18. You begin unbuckling what's attached to very quietly, and as you begin to shift it, it just drops.
Well, hang on though,
Oh,
because I will spend a hero point as well. Because 18 is...
it's heavier than £5, so it just
Oh,
drops in the ground.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
So you can save the hero point.
Oh, fair.
It just kind of just drops him on the stairs. It's just like,
I'm just gonna stoop down and pick it up. I'd just be like, oh, he dropped this,
and
then walk past him.
thank you. I need to make sure my straps are in place. This gear is not what I'm used to.
Would you like me to pop it in the bag of holding so that you're not carrying the extra weight around? Feels quite heavy. Can I make that persuasion?
You can attempt to. Because he's kind of put it back on his back.
Persuasion. Kleptomania. It was super effective.
He's kind of looking at it. It's like, you have a what?
It's a magic bag that it doesn't weigh any extra, but it holds a load of stuff.
Interesting. I should get one.
You should. Look, they're not that expensive to be honest. But I mean, we can pop all of your stuff in here for now, and then you'll be freer to move, and it'll be less difficult to sneak around and stuff.
Fair enough. And he takes it off again.
So that's the lockbox
Yes.
and like his bag of stuff as well.
No, he doesn't have a bag of stuff. He left that. That's what he left
Oh, okay.
way back up to see if you wanted any of it.
I thought you'd pick that up again. So he's like literally just got the logbox then. Okay.
Yeah, logbox and the bandolier, and
'Cause I thought he was taking the stuff up to sell it on the surface.
yes, but he's going down.
So he's left it and he's gonna come up. I get you. Okay. Oh, cool. I'll conveniently forget about that.
He won't.
Well,
it depends.
let's see if he survives.
Yes, if he survives. As he begins moving back down the stairs again. We're almost there.
How'd you know?
He kind of just points down the center of the staircase.
Oh, I got it. Alright. Can we still hear the shuffling?
Yes, you can still hear the shuffling. And as you reach the 8th floor, you can hear down the hallway. There's actually two sounds coming from two different directions that seem to be moving down the corridors. It doesn't seem to be coming down towards the stairwell, but it seems to be moving.
So like the patrol circuits again.
Yeah, and they're not stopping. It's constant moving.
Okay.
But you carry on going down to the bottom floor, and as you keep going, you hear more of them, and there's more of these sounds as you move down to the 9th floor. You hear 3 of them, and as you reach the bottom floor where it levels out, you're pretty sure there's like 5 of these golems moving around
But just patrolling.
that seem to be patrolling.
Is there the same 4 corridor business?
When you look around, there's 3 corridors.
Okay. I have turned the lights off at this point, by the way.
I imagine you probably did after investigation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's these 3 corridors, west, east, and north.
I'd like to listen and see if I can figure out where the shuffle's coming from.
It's coming from all three.
All three. And I can hear 5 shuffles.
You can hear roughly 5 shuffles.
Which way
The
has the
east
least
sounds the least. Sounds like east.
East sounds the least. Alright.
East sounds the least. And it seems like it's basically double the sound is from the north and the west.
Alright, guys, we might be about to get into a fight, so is everyone ready?
No.
Question is, can we go loud or how are we?
I would suggest not loud just yet.
Until shit
'Cause-
hits the fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
It hits
can
the vent.
hear maybe 5 golems. Yeah, we can hear maybe 5, and we're heading in a direction where it sounds like there's only one, and it would be great if we could only deal with one, rather than dealing with all 5.
That's very
Is
true.
my thinking anyway. So yeah, I guess we'll head that one way.
All right. As you head this one, down here, everything's more twisting. There's less straight passageways and more of curved passageways, extra crossroads. This is still cold iron, and well, from what you can tell, it's still cold iron. It's still black. For you, however, you can tell just because you're not wearing shoes, the floor is a lot colder, especially because you've gone past the forge area. And the floor feels, I wouldn't say slimy, but it feels moist. Almost like there's a thin layer of like dew or something that's just on the floor.
Can we use a different adjective?
Damp. There you go.
Damn, thank you. I'd like to crouch down, put like the palm of my hand in the dampness, and then like sniff it, snip my hand.
Oh, sniff your hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you kind of take your hand off it, it is like just using your fingers, you can feel it is definitely faintly wet, and sniffing. It's like a stale smell, but it doesn't smell like water. It smells more like
stale ale.
Not even ale. It's like some type of the closest thing you could imagine is like yeast.
If it is what I think it is.
I'm just gonna wipe my hand on my leg and not do that again. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's.
You just see Ulan just kind of just like wiping his hand.
Glad I'm wearing shoes right now.
Move on. Yeah.
And as she- Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some new foot wraps after this trip.
You definitely should, considering where you've been.
Yeah.
But you guys head forwards, and you can hear that one patrolling sound. Doesn't seem to be getting further away, but seems to be in somewhere where it's echoing. And as you guys come to actually another crossroads, you see it actually bends in 2 different directions. One to the west, one to the north, one to the south. But they both bend in the eastern direction.
Wait, sorry, run that by me again?
So you're heading
Sorry.
east, and there's
Yeah.
a south and a north passage, but they both bend eastern.
Can I feel any airflow coming from either of them?
Give me a survival check.
Survival check. Okay.
Oh, look at you with the good rolls. 22, yeah.
I'm just not gonna roll anything today.
I'm worried. Something's gonna go horribly wrong.
Yeah, you kind of just like wait by the entranceway, and like hold out a hand, and you can feel across your fingers a breeze coming from both of them.
Okay. Right, well, we'll head down the south one because that's the right way.
Alright, as you head down that one, you'll follow behind. You know immediately they're both attached to each other. And they both actually begin to decline as they spiral both together and attach into a stairway that heads downwards.
Okay.
And as it goes down, again, there's that infrequent light scattered down this stairway. It doesn't go down too far, and as you reach the bottom on the landing, it's a very thin corridor which, just looking down, going down, it's only about 10 feet, and immediately ahead of it seems to be an open chamber.
And the walls are still like walls?
Yes, they're still black.
And smooth and all that business. Okay,
There's no light to reflect, so... Actually, no, there is light to reflect. So you can tell, yeah, it's still that kind of smooth, roughy texture.
Alright.
And you can see there's kind of that glint of moisture coming from it.
I guess we cautiously keep going.
Alright, you keep going, and as you just reach the boundary of the chamber, this is probably the largest chamber you've seen in the Citadel. It is possibly the size of the entire floor as...
So I'm just gonna look for tracks.
Okay, down this corridor?
Yes.
Okay, give me a... you don't even need to do a check, do you? You just can tell there's tracks.
Yeah.
Here, something's moved down here. There's no dust. And you look and you can see this moisture across the floor. This kind of damp floor.
So I'm just gonna make a survival check to see what it is.
Okay. It'd be more nature check, but...
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't roll good anyway.
So it's probably less if it's your intelligence, right?
Yeah, it's 6.
No.
Because I'm not proficient in nature.
Oh, really? Okay. And yeah, this is like... You've never seen this. Especially not up in Griffin. It's like, the smell's weird. The place it's in. There's no colour to it. It's still this black. Which you can barely tell because there is some light, so you can tell it's still black. Yeah.
So when I was looking at my hand and stuff earlier, was it like clear moisture or like coloured?
For you, when you saw it previously, it was just this moisture.
I'm gonna gingerly like touch it with my foot. What does it feel like?
It feels horrible, especially because you've been like walking in this dampness previously, and now going down this corridor. It's almost squidgy at this point.
Savant is gonna take his cape over and just lift like a tiny drip of it on his finger and light it with his lighter under his coat so it covers all light.
You're gonna light your finger on fire.
Yes, I'm gonna take damage. I'm gonna see if it's flammable or not. I'm not walking in oil, basically.
It is not flammable, and you take 1.5 damage.
I whisper, good news, it's not flammable.
Can I examine it to see if it reminds me of like the what you mean, like the oozy slimy thing that we fought in the system way back when?
Oh, there.
Does it
Sure,
remind me
you
of,
can
like,
do a check.
Of any like gross, like nature, I guess. Did you say?
I would say nature, yeah. trying to identify this. 20. Looking at this, yeah, this is something definitely not normal. The only thing you can tell from it is definitely biological. But there's something unnatural just straight about it. And one thing you can very clearly tell, because there's light around, everything's still black and white.
Huh. Like, am I black and white?
Yeah, everything's still black and white, even though there's clearly some type of light source above you guys.
Guys, I'm not blue right now. Like, the light's wonky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, there's a light up there, but look, I'm grey.
We haven't passed into the shadow hell, have we?
It's entirely possible at this point.
Because remember the weird stuff that happens in the Emerald Sea? Maybe this is
Aye,
the shadow hell version.
potentially, yeah, that's quite a solid guess.
Well, that's your expertise.
We need. What are we gonna call this? If it's not the Emerald Sea, it needs to be like the.
Shadow
Shadow
Hell?
the Onyx Ocean?
Yeah, I was thinking like Onyx Ocean or like the Jade Gloom. Because
Jade's a
they're
colour
menacing.
though.
No, Jade is a black. Oh, yeah, Jade's green, isn't it? That's what I meant. What's the black one? Is that just,
The
am I
Jet.
just thinking- Well, I know Onyx is black, but there's another one.
Jet.
Yes.
Jets. That's it. The Jet Gloom.
There we go.
That sounds bad. The Jet Stream.
Wow.
We've entered the Jet Stream. There we go. Copyrighted. Patent pending. That's cool.
Wow.
Into the Jet Stream, folks.
Wow.
So we're not gonna call it the jet wave then.
No, Jet Stream. Because like the Emerald Sea, the water thing.
Well, a wave is also a water thing.
True, but
What
I-
are
I-
you talking about?
Jet Stream just sounds more like it's a real thing.
Well, jet wave. I don't know. Sant and Ulan have argued about what sounds cooler.
Jet Stream. Yeah, but come on, OOC, Jet Stream is Transformer. So, I mean,
Well, yes, but jet waves have to do with supersonic sound anyway.
Oh.
Both is basically the same thing.
we'll call the next one a wave. When we find the fire wave. Sure, there'll be like
The flame wave.
Mhm. But yes.
That'll be what Savannah and Newland do in their downtime. Is just work out a hypothetical naming system for all of the possible elemental planes.
But as you guys are at the edge, you can see that this chamber is also lit. Again, very partially in certain areas, which gives it this kind of weird pocketed light source in various places, which is still very dim. It's only about 20 feet of light. And then the rest of the room is just dark. And you can hear somewhere in this chamber that the footsteps.
Like Golem puts up.
Yeah. And at this point now, it's also kind of got that weird damp stepping sound as well as it's stepping around this chamber. It's just like... which is this horrible mixture of like squishing but also thudding and it's just weird.
Okay, I'm gonna advance cautiously up the corridor.
You're basically at the end of the corridor. You probably step back to talk, but then yeah.
Oh, it's the big chamber.
Yeah. This chamber is huge.
Can you even see, like, you say it's the size of the whole tower? So,
It's
like,
you're not
see the
sure,
other
but
side?
it's you can't see the other side.
Can I see the other side?
You still can't because
Okay.
there's no light. Because you still only have 60 feet dark vision.
Right.
Trying so hard not to make any movement
Ithamore,
on the side.
you straining, you can see a semblance of a wall, but yeah, you don't see anything really. Everyone can see several light sources. Whoever's at the front of the pack, and as a note, this corridor you guys are in is also, again, it's another 5 feet, so you're pretty much in single file. You can probably squish, for example, Savant, you could probably squish next to someone else at the front.
Well, Ulan would have been like following up behind for that.
Yeah, so you two can do a perception check just to see if you notice anything. Using these light sources you can see across the chamber.
Well, this is not going to be higher than a 4.
No, it's not advantage, remember?
Alright,
Ooh, look at you two.
roll that 20 instead.
Yeah.
That's how
That's how it works. Using these light sources, it doesn't give off much reflective light to the area, but you can see that in the parts that it does light up, you can see patterns on the floor, which gives some detail to what the room's design is. In various directions, you can see one leads towards some kind of like a concave direction where there would be a point. You also see several tables and chairs, not like a dining hall, but more like a reception room that would have been here. But all of it's been torn apart and sundered. But again, everything's in black and white. However, on one side of the chamber to the, for you guys it would be the east, you can see, with very faint light source, you can see some type of door on the floor, which has been cracked open.
Like a hatch?
No, like a full, like 10-foot door. Actually, it's probably more than 20 foot actually at this distance. Like a 20-foot door that's kind of broken in on the floor. And Ulan, you can tell the wind is coming from that direction. The sound, however, is coming from the other side of the room.
Sorry, the door is closed.
The door is open, which is why you can feel a breeze coming through it.
But is it a door flush with the floor, or is it like a...
You can't tell because there's no light coming from it, but there is definitely a door on the floor.
But is it like... Is it a door that is like resting on the floor, or is it like there is a hole in the floor that is a door? That like kind of like what Lanita was asking, like is it a hatch, or is it like a?
Oh no, it's a door that's been broken off a hinge and is on the floor.
Oh right, and it's lying on the floor. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay,
That makes more sense.
Now we're with you.
Okay, so yes. There, you can see a broken door that's kind of just torn and is on the floor.
And the wind is coming from over there.
Yes.
But the golems are on the other side.
You can hear a single stepping footsteps of something that would be a golem.
Okay. So,
Let's sneak along the wall then.
Yeah, follow the wall around towards the wind.
Okay, give me stealth checks. All of you.
Okay.
Because you haven't really been doing stealthing until now.
Well, I mean, are we even stealthing?
Are you?
I don't know.
It sounded like you were.
We're just like following the wall, but yeah, I guess we can stealth.
Yeah, let's do it quietly, not stomping around. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
interesting
use
sound.
your die.
Wow. When you guys want to stealth, you can stealth.
No, we can't.
That's still a 10. Wow.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry, a 10 is terrible.
I am disappointed. Damn it.
Wow, yeah.
Look in the bright outside here. At least my wolf isn't here to show you up.
True.
Let me just roll random one for Seraphina
And Sonny.
and Seneca, which he doesn't have proficiency in, and
why are you rolling twice?
that's for Divrok.
Yeah, our sneaky ranger guy. That is me. Because I'm not sneaky.
So smug and has not done as well as people at disadvantage.
Actually, that's a lie. He should have done better, actually, because he has expertise. So actually, would have been plus an extra 3.
Oh, it's a rogue also.
Yeah, you guys, you can tell the walls there. Probably don't put your hand on it, or you can, I guess. And it is also that sickly kind of damp sense. And this whole chamber smells of that, which all of you can pick up as this kind of damp, yeasty smell across the entire room.
Clay golem aroma,
There
I'm guessing.
appears to be some kind of ice cream truck down there.
The only thing I can think of is no, I don't want to say it. I'll say it after the session. But
I know.
But as you guys kind of slowly move across the side of the wall, the wall itself isn't flat. There's marks in it, and you notice there's like sections of probably wall that have crumbled down and become part of the kind of stuck out, and you have to kind of slightly move around it. And those kind of looking across the chamber in certain points, you can also see mounds in certain places where the light reflects across them, which seems to almost be where the smell's coming from. But everything's very muted, so you're not sure. It's even more so than when you're just using your dark vision. But as you move across, the stomping sound gets quieter as you move away across towards this breeze. And as you make your way towards where you feel this breeze in this doorway, where you saw the cracked door. All of you can feel the faint movement of air coming in across your face, which is refreshing, considering how long you've been in this citadel and the stuffy air that you've had to deal with. And there's something off about the air, though. Ulan, you picked it up on previously when you were on the bridge. But there's something not in the air, but something about it which just seems wrong. But as you progress, you all can tell that there is very clearly this huge doorway, which seems to be either a passage of some kind, which, looking at it, has been smashed. One door is on the floor, which you guys have noted previously. The second one is still on its hinge, mostly. But it's been cracked in the center when both doors would have met. Like something very hard, large and very heavy had hit it. And splintered wood. And stepping past it, you can see above...
Before we head into the doorway,
Yes.
Seraphina, can you message Daniela and ask her if the colours are all screwed up where they are?
I can try. Do you wait here by the doorway? You keep moving in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we go to the door.
Okay. And as you notice, you can see there's actually a gate of lattice metal that, again, had been partially down and has been completely bent inwards.
like another one of those pulse bombs? Or?
Like something heavy had hit it again.
Like the gate we came
Towards us?
through.
Like the gate you guys came through.
Does it look like something tried to get into the room that we're in, or tried to leave the room that we're in?
It looks like gone into the room,
Okay, so something has come out of this tunnel.
or at least tried to. And as you go through, you come out onto another one of those bridges. This one is not in the best of conditions. It is still a bridge, but you can see very clearly on one side has been completely cleaved off.
How long is the bridge?
The bridge goes into the darkness.
When you say one side is completely clear, you mean like the handrails on one side and the
Yeah,
center?
like the handrails and parts of the floor of one side have just fallen off.
So what should we do? Should we do glide and climb, or should we actually try to get over this raggedy bridge?
Well, we've still got room on the bridge to walk. There's no need to.
Yeah, the bridge is still
climbing the
walkable,
building.
but instead of it being like 15 feet, it's more like safely only about like 7.5 feet.
Savant just really, really wants to go hang gliding again, doesn't he?
I don't know
yeah.
why. It
That's
didn't
like
end well
that's
last
like
time.
literally the third time today you've brought it up.
He really likes hang gliding. He weaponized his last time, so.
That's probably a good point that Owen's making. That it could have been the golem that we kicked off the bridge.
If one,
You know that one fell a long way
Yeah.
before you heard an echo.
He probably would have been too broken to bust his way back in, I'm thinking. But...
Yeah.
And
You know,
it's possible that it never hit a bridge and just hit this bridge.
it was well over 10
We
seconds.
know it could be a Terminator golem. Doesn't matter, it got smashed up.
So
It just continued on coming.
he's gonna come find us with like half of his face missing. And like,
Yeah, and missing his legs, and he's just been crawling along.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say he was 1 day away from retire.
You know it was at least 10 seconds before he hit something.
I need your armor, your boots, and your warhorse, I guess. That's a terrible impression. I'd like to apologize to my friends and family.
But yeah, this bridge just looks like it's seen some shit. You can go across it still. As you kind of tentatively move across, it's stable. It is still a workable bridge. And as you start moving across, you can see the semblance of what would be the cliff face of this chasm that you guys are in. But you're not really sure what the end of the bridge is attached to.
Ulan's gonna scout ahead.
Okay.
So it's gonna scout with him.
And
Well,
as you
I'm
kind of...
scouting fast, so
Well, oh, you're not in your sneaking speed with the same as mine then.
Yeah.
because I can run up vertical surfaces and stuff, so I don't need to.
True.
But yeah, you kind of move ahead, and there is some crumbling of the stone, and some of them kind of shift ever so slightly, but none of them fall. And as you move across, you can feel the wind again blowing up the side of the bridge itself. And you've definitely moved several floors down as you kind of look up, and you can see several bridges above you. And there's still the black thorn kind of peering down slightly. You can still see it keeps on going.
Can I see what the bridge connects to?
As you keep moving across, about halfway across, where you can barely see the silhouettes of the rest of the team, you can see where it's attached to, which seems to be another tunnel, but this one seems more structured. There's more of a shape to the actual front. You can see there's actual reinforcements around the entrance. You can see it's been used a lot more, just from a cursory glance.
Okay.
And as you get do you get closer?
Yeah.
Okay. As you get closer, it's also larger, like much larger. Like it wouldn't need to be this large for dwarves.
Neither does half the shit in Merthyr.
Mm.
I feel like dwarven cities were designed by the same person that designed American supermarkets.
Probably.
Like, well, the aisles are like 3 miles wide.
Well, it's because have you ever seen Americans Drive?
Well,
You've
yeah,
been
that's
here.
right. Well, I've used an American shopping cart and the steering is terrible.
Yeah.
So you kind of just...
It needs to be
It's
that
like
way.
American trolleys are like American cars that can't turn for shit. So, yeah.
Oh, they don't have that 4-wheel drive? Mm.
No, they don't. Like, seriously, it is like really... It is like if, you know when you get that really shitty trolley from IKEA?
Why are we talking about trolleys? What's everyone else doing? Are you waiting for Ulan to come back?
Salant is covering, basically, if he put on some lights, he could make a shot, basically what they're taking. Means he's
With what?
lying flat on the floor, but he's covering, if any lights shows up, he's gonna shoot it.
Yeah, you don't see any lights. It is pitch black. So all you see again is a grey and white. Or black and grey, technically. But you can feel that gentle breeze coming from the sides of the bridge and then rushing towards the doorway. Any of you that look back at the actual building, of its kind of black colour, and then slightly down the side, it seems to turn darker, almost like it goes from just black to pitch black. Yeah. You guys are now on one of the bridges.
I'll call people, or like tell Saren that it's safe to come across.
Okay.
With the pauldron. And, yeah.
I'll relay and we'll start moving across.
Alright. You guys slowly start moving across the bridge, staying away from the one side. You move across without incident. There's that... all of you get that odd sense from the wind as you cross the bridge. You can all kind of feel it, kind of just like across your skin, where it kind of just like lifts your hairs ever so slightly, where you kind of have a twinge, but nothing happens as you move across and get to the one side where Ulan is, and you can see this huge, ridiculously sized entrance, which is double the size of the bridge, like 30 by 30. It is ridiculous, but it's reinforced, you can see, with the same black metal.
Well, this is one infrastructure for you.
It seems to me like this is the way that something got into the tower, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily... I don't know, because the tower goes down further.
And
so...
it looks like this, it gets darker in color,
Aye.
if that's even possible.
So I don't know if there was maybe a way down on the other side of that room, but we should keep that in mind as we carry on, just in case we're heading the wrong way.
The wrong way.
Did we get any response from Daniela?
At this point, you've only spent about, I'll probably say about 3 minutes. At this point, no.
That's not good.
Well, unless there's some kind of time discrepancy. To remember that in the Emerald Sea, everything was wonky and different.
True.
And if we think we're in the Shadowfell now, well, like the Jetstream.
Daniela did say she was masking the area they were in to take a rest.
That too as well, but yeah.
Well, in books, it's the most ominous and bad guy looking place that always have the end boss in it, so...
Because you guys have now spent about 8. Actually, no, it's almost 8 hours because your dark vision's ended, so it's close to 10 hours at this point.
Well, at least we have eaten lunch. We don't need to think about we're going hungry at least.
So, you make this way to this tunnel, this mine, which is both immense in size, but also just vacant. Do any of you have a look inside? Investigate the entrance?
Yeah. I would have done that while I was waiting for people to come.
Oh, yeah, go ahead then. Give me an investigation check. I imagine you're not pulling out the stones, so disadvantage. Or do you? It's up to you.
Actually, no. I'm gonna pull the stone out because, to be honest, anything that might see us down here can see in the dark anyway. So, oh yeah, I might as well use the.
Well, I said investigation, but.
Oh, sorry. I just clicked the first thing. Investigation.
I pressed the first thing I saw.
Yeah, it's not going to be any better. But...
No, it's not. Just looking at it, it's like it's definitely a tunnel of similar design as the previous one, so a mine.
Can I make my light stone blue, by the way?
Sure. I say it can do basic colors.
Because normally we do red for night vision, but I thought we were going to.
Yeah, I say it can do basic colors of yellow, green, yellow, red, and blue. Possibly green.
Cool.
Yes. That's what you can tell in the cursory glance while you're waiting. But everyone else, you can see this tunnel entrance. Do you guys do anything, or are you just going to stay by the entrance?
Oh, no, I'll take a look at it.
Savant is also going to take a look at it because bad guy stuff.
Yeah.
Can I feel the floor?
You can feel the floor.
Like, is it still icky?
Here, it's not. It's very cold earth. Like earth, not stone.
4.
Your advantages are just terrible. It's hilarious.
Well, at least it's going up.
Yeah, the average is higher.
No, the average is still 4 because I rolled a 3.
Wow, you guys suck at investigating. Yeah, it's definitely a mine, and
I'm supposed to be terrible at this.
you can at least tell from your vision that 60 feet it goes all the way down, and again curves, but it drops very drastically in comparison. The previous one was kind of just a very slight tilt. This is very obviously it's going down.
It's very obviously sloped.
Yeah, and it's angling again towards the chasm.
Angling towards the chasm.
Well, angling to go parallel with it. Yeah.
So it might lead down to another bridge or
Something, yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Or the bottom of the chasm, maybe. Alright, in we go.
Right then.
Because none of us have spotted anything dangerous, so let's go.
Apparently not. Yeah, you step in, and it is once again dark, but it's not
I'm
damp.
using the blue shiny.
Oh, you're going to use the light. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I'll
So
just-
you have light. And very clearly you can see, just from walking into this cavern.
That's an interesting point, actually, because the colours were muted in the thing.
Yes.
Is the blue light actually blue?
It is blue.
Okay. Do I look blue?
You look. Yeah, everyone looks blue.
Everyone looks blue. Oh my god, this is amazing.
But one thing you notice,
Damn it, Rudy!
just from from the light reflecting off the walls, this has definitely been heavily mined. As you can see, caverns, not caverns, sections just like in the side of the walls that have just been dug out. And you can see, as you're walking down, about 20 feet in, there's a hole in the ceiling of about 20 feet wide.
In the ceiling of the tunnel.
In the ceiling of the tunnel, which seems to just go up and then seems to go at an angle.
Is it round?
It is round.
Does the sound around it appear to have like static electricity going on?
There's just dirt and stone.
Regular dirt and stone?
Regular dirt and stone, for what you can tell.
Is there
It's
a
still it's
corresponding
blue, but
hole on the bottom?
there is in the side of the wall, which you thought was a chasm or just a dig out. It actually keeps going, and it seems to go down into the ground at an angle.
I think the worm has been through here.
Oh, possibly.
In that case, maybe we should try to be quiet in case we attract it back. It's attracted the sound, Amanda.
Definitely no loud explosion.
We all look at Savant.
Exactly.
But you keep on traveling down, and there is no rumbling you hear. There's very little that you hear. You just hear the sound of that wind blowing from below. And this keeps on going. It doesn't seem to attach to a tunnel, but it seems to go back on itself in various angles, almost like a staircase, which seems to just zigzag down, and it seems to keep going as you follow it. And as you're traveling, as just a check for your travels, give me a perception check, all of you can, on this one. Uh, 19, 14, 11, and...
Shut up.
You know, I should just roll single rolls because I just roll better.
You just rolled better, apparently. Yeah. So as you guys head down, you don't hear any rumbling, but occasionally, as this keeps on going for some time, you get to about an hour walking down, and
Wait, how much was it curving?
it was going back on itself, like a staircase. It seemed to go back and then zigzag at an angle and then go down.
Oh, okay.
But most of you can hear the very faint sound of bubbling, but they had the very bassy bubbles. It's like bloop, 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 bloop.
That never sounds good.
Do the letters lava plops just show up nearby?
And as you go past this section where you can hear the sound, it definitely gets warmer.
Great. No,
I
let's
would
not
like
dip our
to-
foot in it.
I would like to glance down at the bottom of my field of view and see what's written in square brackets as the description of the sound.
But as you move away from it, the heat dissipates into the cold stone and earth again. And as you're going down, all of this is being very heavily mined out, but also reinforced. Savant, you can tell there were Duragars and Deep Gnomes working here previously, but that was a long time ago. The only reason you can tell is because of their footprints embedded into the earth. However, recently there's definitely tracks of illithids
Nice.
going up, not down.
Going up,
Yeah.
but not down.
Recently, at least.
That's where they got in, but it's not how they left. What I was afraid of.
And this keeps on going, and you travel down for another hour.
Can someone see if there is if they dig too greedily out, like they went mining for ore, or they did dig for a purpose?
From what you can tell, they're very clearly mining out sections of where ore would have been. As you notice that the sections that are being mined out are rock.
Like veiny
rock mountains, yeah.
Mm.
Which are very clearly dug around.
Nice.
But there's clearly no trace remaining of whatever they mined. And there is no light as you carry on down. There's no even of those stones, not even any that are off. It's just darkness. And as you travel down, you eventually, after another hour and a half at this point, reach a plateau of a relatively decently sized chamber, about 30 by 30, in an ovalish type shape, which looks like it's been hobbled together. And you can see across the walls what once were beds, chairs, tables, some boxes which have been kind of put to one side. You can see stands that have been knocked to one side. All haven't been used in a long time, or at least long enough that it hasn't been maintained.
So we walked 3.5 hours to get to this point.
2.5.
Aaron, 2.5. How many times has Aaron asked if we're there yet?
769.
That's a lot of times. That's more than once a minute. Okay. Yes, you've reached this point, and the beds aren't really beds. The kind of cloth wrapped up enough that there's a layer, and then some type of frame put up in between it.
So kind of like a camp bed or something.
Yeah, like a camp bed. And they're all relatively still standing because they're not made of wood. They're made of what looks like just iron, not even black iron, just iron, which you can tell has been started to rust. Which is the only reason you can tell it's been so old.
Can we take a couple of minutes just to search the place for anything?
Yeah, you can see one entrance, which actually seems to, well, it seems to just one entrance, one exit. But yeah, you can have a look around.
One other way out, other than when we came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But looking around, yeah, it hasn't been used in a long time, and you can have a look around. There isn't any so much as gear. There is several pickaxes that have been strewn across the place. There's a shovel. There's actually some utensils of what looks like cooking and eating implements.
Could you collect a kit of cooking utensils by just
A full set? You could, but they would be rusted.
What are there any pickaxes that are in okay condition?
Of the pickaxes there, it's in okay condition. The handle, you're not completely sure about.
Okay, so there's just like one that is in this condition, and the rest is even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put pickaxe with a dodgy handle.
Okay.
What material is the pickaxe made of?
Because of the blue light, you can tell it's metal or some type of stone, as it has a shine to it.
Savannah takes out his lighter to see what type of metal is.
With an actual light source, you can tell it's not actually. It's kind of fake metal. It's a type of stone which you've seen around. It's basically flint.
Cool.
So basically, we just found a stone pickaxe, and the durability is really low.
Basically, yes.
What about the shovel?
The shovel is actually a little better, as that actually used slate.
Slate stone. Nice.
Wait, a slate shovel?
Or it looks like that type of material at least. It has the thin lines across it. But you could probably tell it's probably stronger because it's a shovel, but it looks like shell.
Okay. So I'll
Or
put
slate.
these in the bag. Put these in the bag of holding.
You put that? Okay, sure.
Yeah. Just in case.
Just in case you need a
while
shovel.
hoarding,
Actually, yeah, you guys
Hey.
don't have a shovel.
What color is the shovel? Could you use the shovel as a makeshift catapult?
Yeah, possibly. We'll call that Plan F. So when we
Plan
Plan F.
No, plan.
We need to find something to be the fulcrum though.
Well, we could just fling it. Like
Well, no, I'm thinking is you load whatever it is, whatever you want to chuck onto the shovel head, and then you get Savannah to jump on the handle.
See, that's just a recipe for things breaking in Savannah exploding.
Yeah.
Which I'm not necessarily opposed to, but
Wow.
I think more like the lacrosse approach is what we need.
Probably.
Eventually, at this point, Seraphine actually gives you the stone, the sending stone.
Oh.
And you can hear a faint voice coming from it.
Daniela, are you alright?
No, darling, it's me.
Oh, such cool. Hello.
I heard that there was some problems you were dealing with.
We've had a wee bit of a delay, but we've managed to seal a portal to the Earth plane along the way.
Tell
We
me
are-
about the black and white stuff.
I'm getting to that. We're on our way down to you now, but we're having some weird color problems. Is the light all monochrome where you're at?
No, but we did pass something of sort.
You passed through something, alright. How much further from there were you?
There was a pocket of Shadowfell that we came across, and that was several hours ago. Probably about 5? It was pretty early on.
We're about 2 or 3 hours past that ourselves. We're heading downwards in a mined out Duragar tunnel system. We've encountered a Lithid. There's signs of more Lithid around, so hopefully we're coming up on you soon.
That would be great. Unfortunately, we've had to move things along a little faster. Apparently, they can find things through illusions.
Oh dear, that is a problem.
Someone picks up the phone. So how hurt?
You
are
pick it up from.
Well, his lone sending stuff.
Oh, your own. Yeah, true.
So how hurt are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
The rest?
Not so well. We've had to move away somewhere else.
Are
When,
you closer to the problem or further away?
We're not sure. We haven't found the problem just yet.
Well, to fill you in from what more we've discovered, It seems that whatever means the Illithids are planning to use to wedge open this rift or whatever it is they're doing, they've been mining the stone from earth elementals, creating stone tablets and building a golem army made of with people souls inside. That
We found the golems, yes.
you found them, right?
Or they found us.
Are they? Do they behave differently to your average golem?
They follow the Illithids, which is strange enough. And
But they went down as a normal one would.
yes,
Alright. The Dow princess that we rescued told us that. We rescued a Dow princess. It's a long story. There is a gemstone in the center of the golems where a human's heart would be. That is the source of their magic and is probably their most vulnerable spot. If you can run into them again, you might want to try and target that, if you can.
I'll let Hawkstrut know.
But we'll be down with you as soon as, well, I guess, normally possible. Wait, hang on. What was that, Sejiko? You want to know whether the super handsome Aaron will be there quickly? Yeah, he says he'll be there soon.
What? Huh?
Never mind. No, she was just asking if you'd be there soon. She's worried. She needs you to come rescue her, Aaron. So we better get going.
Kind of hear like a chuckle. And a
Okay, how far are we?
We'll get to you as quick as we can. Alright, we're about to leave. Is there anything else we need to know?
apart from that, I can tell is antsy. And, well, we're in a bit of a pickle. No.
How about Hawkeye?
Yeah, how's he doing?
I had to help him, but he will be fine.
Stay alive and stay safe. We'll be with you soon. And I'll give the stone back to Seraphina.
Alright. Takes the stone.
Alright,
Thank you, operator.
folks. Hi-ho and all that.
Let's make a dash for it.
Off to work we go.
Alright, so are you going to rest or are you going to keep going?
A couple of minutes to recharge energy, but not like a... We
Yeah,
don't need
take
a short rest.
10-minute break and then just
Yeah.
run for it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Well-
need to get a wiggle on.
As this
Take a 10-minute break.
point,
Take some.
I would definitely say you guys should probably do an exhaustion check.
Really?
Yeah. You've been going for 12 hours
Yeah, that's a normal day.
Yeah.
while fighting.
Well, I wasn't really
Eh.
fighting.
It's
We fought-
a normal day in D&D terms is 8 hours of sleep, and then it's like 8, and 8. So we're still like only just like halfway through the second.
And we have stayed up longer with fighting more enemies.
That's true.
Yeah, to be fair, all of the fights that we had were pretty easy. Well, aside from when Seraphina
I'm
got
sorry.
killed as well. No, so let me rephrase. Like all of the stuff that Ulan fought died really quickly.
Actually, no, that's a fair point. That's a fair point, actually. It should be more.
There was only that boss thingy that really was a problem.
Yeah, you're coming close to the. It would be 16 hours? Yeah, 16 hours. Which would be more of the point. But yes, for the time being, you're feeling kind of the aches of walking this long, but it's nothing you've done previously.
Believe me, all of the people in the party know about my age.
You know specifically where Aaron aches.
Everyone will have a headache for that.
But as you go through this exit, it comes out in a very similar fashion. Although you guys have your light stones on.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
know
have mine on.
immediately this is more of straight stone and rock instead of earth. This seems to have opened up into a different sort of cavern. And we'll actually end there and come back next week for you guys heading further down. into the darkness.